Beyond Good and Evil 2 live stream just went out this week with all of 45 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah.
It's the best look we've had of the game in action yet, I would say. There's also a new 2-minute developer vlog about staff combat and ship maneuvers, and it's all very exciting, isn't it, Jake Kulkowski?
Yeah, that's right. Like you're saying, we've seen some gameplay, like prototype gameplay, isn't
That's
it?
right.
What was it? Pre-alpha, they've called it.
Yeah, I should say probably that I am Mike Williams. Yeah, it's pre-alpha.
Sure
They're very. Yes, I would say very careful to point out that it is a work in progress stuff. All of the gameplay footage that we've seen from the live stream and this 2-minute developer vlog, which is the same stuff. There's a watermark on the bottom left of the screen that always says pre-alpha, work in progress. So that's just to indicate just how early on all this footage is. So let's talk about what this game actually is first. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is, of course, a follow-up to the 2003 original cult classic from Ubisoft. It was first announced at E3 2017, and it promised huge shared world experiences on a big scale across an entire solar system. This is all very ambitious stuff, isn't it?
All very Hello Games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a second, I think. But during Thursday's live stream, creative director Michel Ancel and a couple of other developers went through the game's story and showed some footage of combat and action, player movement, some nice ship stuff. What we saw, again, was very early footage. It focused on the character of Shani, who you will have seen in the first big kind of cinematic trailer they put out, and in all the artwork and any kind of promotional stuff you've seen.
She was the only female human, I guess, that you saw. Everyone else was like a anthropomorphic, a giant pig.
Or some kind of hybrid of...
exactly. But she was just a human, so that's how you can easily identify her.
Exactly. She's the only human that we've seen, pretty much, yeah. So that's who this footage focused on. Here's the solid details that we have learned, right? Story-wise and setup-wise, we know that you play as a pirate captain with a crew, which is pretty cool. You can appoint... they have different skills, and they have, there's a spy and a medic and all that kind of thing. And you're in charge. You don't play as Jade, the protagonist from the first game. Instead, there's a character creator. Which we didn't get to see. What do you think of that? Dropping Jade and going for a character creator?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always into the idea of character creator. I don't spend ages in them, but that's just like personalization.
You like to have the option.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of assures, though, is that there'll be lots of nondescript conversations where they go, "Hey, you!" instead of like when it's a set character.
Hey, pirate.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain.
Yeah, that's the only downside. You've got to listen to a lot of that. No, but why would you be against character creation compared to just a set character? It's more choice, isn't it? Yeah, I
think if you're going to do a shared world, you basically have to, don't you?
Stand out.
You can't have everyone, and especially if it's a world with that amount of variety, if you've got various species of animal and hybrid and stuff that you can go for, then why would you not check that
opportunity,
out? So they did kind of tease all this stuff with just a still image, which featured all kinds of anthropomorphic creatures, including like the just big bears and chameleons or whatever. And you will be able to play as a hybrid character, and that would mean half human, half bear, or half human, half whatever. So that is going to be in the game. This is new stuff that we've learned. Combat is focused around a staff type thing.
Yeah, it seems like martial arts focused.
Yeah,
kind of like how the first game played out. Martial arts themes. Yeah, lots of. You saw quite a lot of staff, like prototype, like mocap.
That's right, stuff, proper work in progress type stuff. But the animation was great, like the because of the mocap, just spinning these kind of weapons around and stuff, and it was really cool looking. So there is this melee based combat system. It doesn't look overly Arkham-ish from what I saw, which is good as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully, it's pretty true to the original, which had its own thing going on. It's very well animated and stuff, especially for the time. They said there will be battles between massive airships, dogfights between pilots. So that's the big kind of thing that came out of this.
Yes,
is the ground-based melee thing, and then you're up in the air and up in space, and it's all kind of seamless. Yeah, there's no loading screens.
Yeah, very. It's stuff that we've seen with No Man's Sky and that other space game.
There are many space games.
Star Citizen. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yes, Star Citizen. Yes, so you've got that kind of, I can't even say human, can I? You've got a person, you've got a thing as an avatar, but also you've got a ship.
You've got a ship. I love that. I really, really like that. It's like in other games you have your horse, like in Skyrim you've got your horse, but this is fucking awesome because you can customize your ship as well. Yeah. Customization, dogfights. If you're a pirate captain with a crew, you'd expect to get into a couple of fights being a pirate and B a space crew.
Right. Yeah.
So the fact that you can not only whip out this staff and start doing flips and shit, but you can also don your shit. Hopefully you can name it. Hopefully you can customize it. I'd really, really like that. Dogfights is something that promised in a lot of games, and I say a lot of games, but quite recently it was No Man's Sky and Star Wars Battlefront 2015, and they never really came true. And it's something that's quite a well requested feature from people that are into that sort of thing. Like people are really clamoring for a dogfight system in a game that's not solely based around dogfights. So that'd be cool.
One thing we should point out is that this, of course, all of this stuff was, something like this was all in the original game, except there was just a lot more segmented, and it was like loading screens everywhere and stuff, and it was kind of limited. And that's what they're trying to do with this one, is kind of make the game that they wanted to make in 2003. They've got the budget, they've got the technology, and it's the same guys. Importantly, it's Michel Ancel who was there for Beyond Good and Evil. He's here doing Beyond Good and Evil 2 as well, so he knows and he remembers what he wanted to do back then. And he's got the
it seems quite simple when you watch the E3 reveal and then you watch this video. It's not a clever marketing thing where he's talking about the integrity. He's not talking about how true it is and making a big deal out of it, but you can get that from watching it. And like you were saying, and it's not their words what you've just said. You remember that. People remember that the original game had these things. This isn't some marketing push, but if you just look carefully, you can see that there is quite a lot of integrity there and quite a lot of care based on protecting the original game's lore and things like that. Like, I think Michel Ancel on that video, pretty sure all he had to say was about how the pirates were quite mysterious in the first game, so therefore you don't know much about them, so this game's not messing with that lore. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's very protective of it, and the fact
he realizes that it's got a serious fan base.
Exactly, and all the things that they're doing seem to be a step in the right direction in terms of preservation of the original content, taking those original ideas even, and just pushing them forward to advance the technology. It's been 15 years, so loads has happened since. If they could essentially, just get the same mechanics and stuff like that and just upgrade them all.
And what I like as well is actually showing, even though it was only all of like 45 seconds, it was actually showing prototype stuff and work in progress stuff. And I always prefer that to like a really polished cinematic or something. I just want to see what the game's like, and it always makes me more excited about the game. So what else did they add? They had a jetpack, which was for getting around 3D space, so it's fully kind of 3D movement in that, and it's good for hopping between your ship and the ground, or you can even use it to board other ships. Again, this was the main theme of what they were showing off, was you could be in your ship, jump out of it, jetpack to another big airship, board it, and you'd be in melee combat on this airship, do whatever you wanted to do on the airship, and then fly back out into the air and retake your kind of ship. And that was all without cutscene and stuff, so that was like a big theme of what they were trying to do.
It's something that we saw in a cinematic last year, and I love it when that happens. You see something in the cinematic and you think, well, then you think, you're not going to be able to do that in a game, but now you can, and that's something that was
that's a great point, because you do often see that kind of thing in pre-rendered footage and stuff, and you're like, well, that looks cool, but am I going to be able to do it? Well, in that case, you will be able to do it. There's going to be really huge spaces. Again, this is another thing they were really concerned with letting you know. This is going to take place on a whole solar system called System 3, which will be entirely seamless with no loading, and you can move seamlessly from interior to exterior. Again, that seamless kind of no loading space thing. And again, shared world, right? So this is multiplayer. So this is one of the more enticing things. This is actually concrete confirmed multiplayer. It's going to think, this is Ubisoft, so this is the kind of thing they like to do these days. And we've had the Division and things off them, where again, that's a shared world experience in Manhattan. Well, this is a solar system, so they're kind of taking what they've learned from the Division, I guess, and applying it here. I find that I'm into it. I've got to be honest. I think it's cool. I think if you've got a big enough space, I think you're definitely right. I think if it was another company doing it, like when Hello Games said about the shared fucking universe, galaxy, whatever, you're like, the thing with Hello Games is they didn't, did they? It was other people saying it and them saying yes.
Yes, this is the thing, and not showing, just agreeing. Yeah, you're right. But this is Ubisoft, who've got the best track record for shared single player hybrid with MMO-like elements like this. We've seen that they can do it before. It's a great point that you mentioned, like with the Division. You're totally right. We know that they've at least got like a bit of a structure there. Even if they just take a bit of that code and build on that, we know it can be done by this publisher and this developer,
and they've got a business model that actually demands that they do it. So not only is it going to be there, they're going to want to make a good job of it and keep supporting it afterwards.
So that's why maybe if you're a bit cynical about it, like why you might want to listen to this a little bit more than a huge indie team or a team that they've got the chops but they haven't ever done it before. Ubisoft have done this before, sort of,
Yeah,
and the fact
recently.
and the idea of them perhaps building on that seems very, very plausible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
with that being said, with that foundation there, I do feel like I can start getting excited about the idea of sharing and stuff like that. I love those sort of games where you can play by yourself, but then if you want to join the shared world and work with people, you can drop in and drop out. It's all seamless. You don't have to go back to the main menu, select the multiplayer, select the single player. I like that. That's probably the way a lot of games are going these days. Not all of them. Single player's not going to die, obviously, but the way that these seamless experiences have been foretold from all the investor calls and stuff that we've seen from all the big publishers, it would make perfect sense. So yeah, I'm quite excited for it. It'd be cool if you and your friends, I know you're a pirate captain, you've got a crew, but if you guys could make some sort of crew of your own there.
Yeah, the word that they kind of dropped into this 2-minute video that they've put out is the word armada. So you can, to keep track with your friends, because it's a big open space, you can kind of lock in a formation and fly around as an armada, which I'm assuming means you've got multiple pirate crews or
really
something.
Cool, isn't it?
So it's all very interesting and ambitious sounding to say the least. They did have this very No Man's Sky demo reel moment where like a small vessel attacks a big airship, and then Michel Ancel says that this was not scripted, supposed to be like this. It's just the kind of thing that happens in this really systemic world. So there is that kind of thing in there. But as far as actually showing the game, we have actually seen footage. They're saying they're saving a lot back for E3. I'm very encouraged by it. I think it looks pretty interesting aesthetically. I like it. I like the influences from No Man's Sky, because even the ship design and things like that look pretty nice. Colour palette.
Oh god, yeah, it looks great aesthetically. I think people are going to listen to your big claims a lot more when you are brave enough to show off your prototype. You are showing a little bit as well, and saying, "Oh, I'm going to build on this and this," rather than just having a big posh cinematic and then giving certain journalists exclusive coverage and they can talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
And let them talk about it rather than
exactly.
show it.
So I feel quite optimistic about this one. It's got huge potential, and even if they only succeed in meeting half of that potential, it's still going to be a great game by the sounds of it. Big fan of the first one.
Exactly.
Very much looking forward to this. Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of Beyond Good and Evil fans that they're going to have to strike a balance between pleasing them and bringing in the newer audience who want to take part in the shared world. So it's a brave call for them and to come out with this and so long after the original and do it as a shared world and try and do all these things. But yeah, like you said, I'm pretty optimistic about it as well. But it's very early days. We'll just have to keep an eye on it, see what comes out of E3. Ancel admitted the clips that they've shown have been really short, but said the Ubisoft is saving a lot more for E3. Like I said, that's going to include a more in-depth chat about the game's mechanics apparently, and there is no confirmed release window or even platforms at this stage, so it's very early days, in other words. So it's just one to keep an eye on at this stage. So that's Beyond Good and Evil 2. Let us know what you think of what you've seen in it down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There should be another video on your screens right now if you want to watch that, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.